Alright, this is a 2008 Street Glide, and the rear brake lights quit working. Front brake lights were still working, and when I would push on the rear brake pedal, which is right here, the brake lights wouldn't work. So being an electrician and mechanic my whole life, for me it was pretty simple, but there's also a lot of solutions you can go to, which is checking your fuses and things like that. But for me, one of the first things I did, because the brake lights are working and I already know they're all going, was that I knew that it was somewhere in the rear brake switch. My relays inside were all good, but basically I'm going to go through a quick procedure. I've already emptied the bag because I got to take it off, and I've got everything laid out here that we need, because I don't know how to edit. My wife's going to have to do that for us later someday when she learns how, but until then I couldn't give a shit and have no intention of doing it because I don't have the patience for that. But the tools that you need are basically laid out, and I've already pulled my stuff out of my bag, which is all the stuff I carry in my bag, and I'll empty the bag and I'll take it off because you have to bleed the brakes when you're done. So the brake cylinder is right there, right behind it, and you'll have to have that, take that off and use DOT4 brake fluid in it unless you flushed it out. The brake fluid is very corrosive, so you want to make sure that you don't get it on your paint if you possibly can. If you do, that you wipe it off as soon as possible and keep it as clean as possible. So I have paper towels, I have the screwdriver there for the cylinder. My wife's going to film it. Like I said, there will be no editing. It will be a little long. I'm going to shorten it as quick as possible. I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot it real fast. One quick little trick, and then I'm going to go ahead and replace the switch. Alright? So anyhow, this is 2008 Street Glide rear brake switch replacement. Alright? First thing you have to do is like I had mentioned, have your tools out. You're going to need a Phillips head. That's to take the cap off of the master cylinder right there. You're going to need an 11/16 wrench. That's to remove the brake switch, which I have right here. Part number for it, if you're buying it from Harley on the 2008, is 72023-51E. You're going to need a 3/8 wrench, which is this one right here. 3/8 wrench is for bleeding the brakes. And when you breathe, these are the front, but when I go to the back after I take the bag off, you'll see there's a bleeder. The hose is to put on there. You put the hose on there. You put fluid in a clean jar, cup, anything you want to use, and that way it don't suck air back up into it. And you'll see as I go through it what I'm doing there. Paper clips to show you a quick little trick on how to troubleshoot it, and of course DOT4 brake fluid. I have some electro connection protector. This way they don't corrode, and some tape I'm going to put on the switch also. That way it don't leak. This is a hydrostatic switch, or a hydro switch. Basically it's hydraulically activated. Put pressure on the brakes, pressures up the switch, pushes the switch in, which sends a signal from one to the other, turns your brake lights on. So first thing you'll do is on all these bikes here, the Harleys are going to have a brake line, and you'll follow your brake line. And this one here, it's real simple. You follow your brake line and it actually comes over to here. I don't have the greatest lighting, so I'll put some more light, but you follow the brake line, and right here is where the switch and the brake line's at. Alright, so you see the switch and you see the connectors going to the switch. I've already disconnected them, so it'll be a little bit easy for me to come off, but I did put them back on so you can see where they're at. Alright, basically all we're going to do at this point is take it, and I'm going to show you a quick trick. So like I said, turn on your ignition. I push the brake lights on the front brakes, you see them activate and go. I push my brake on the back lights and you get nothing. Alright, so I've went through that procedure. Know what's wrong with it. You can put your meter on it if you know how to use a meter. check for 12 voltage once you pull the wires and all that good shit. Or you can use a test light, which is easier. The next step is go ahead and pull these wires though. And you pull these two wires, and there's two wires, and it actually doesn't matter which one goes to which plug. They're both the same. The main thing is that the inside goes to the inside where it's flat. You see the other side has a knob. You want to put the flat side facing in towards the switch so both of them fit together smoothly like that. Okay? Doesn't matter which one goes to which side. So you don't have to worry about all that kind of stuff. Now the easiest way to troubleshoot it is to take something and short the system out, or to run a circuit, and you're going to complete the circuit. And what happens when you push the brakes, hydraulic fluid, your brake fluid pushes in on this switch, activates the switch and closes it. Once it's closed, it sends signal the rest of the way through. That gives you your brake lights. So one easy way to do it that I found is that I take this paper clip and I stick it inside the switch, and that completes the loop, just like that. And then, with the loop being